literary marathon of Don Quixote. This year, our literary figure is Jose Marti, and we're very happy to be able to kick things off here at Duke University. It's the 4th year that we are here at Duke University. I want to thank my good friend Luis Navarro, who has been working really hard to help put this together. Of course, we want to thank all our friends here at Duke University that have helped us in the previous years. And we kick things off here at Duke University. Empezamos aquí in Duke University, and then tomorrow we pass things off to Castilla at 6 a.m. We start all the way from Granada, Spain. So if you're watching us now, tomorrow you can join us at 6 in the morning, or you can watch it recorded. We will pass things off to Granada, Spain. On Friday, we go to our good friends over at Elon with our wonderful friend over there, Minas Sumerli. And then on Saturday, we have our book fair over at Imaginon in Charlotte. We have approximately about 20 different authors that will be with us. And then we will also have 2 theatrical presentations for our children. We will be doing 2 performances, separate performances of works by Marti, The Pink Shoes, Los Zapaticos de Rosa, and also El Meñique, Little Finger. So we'll have that on Saturday. We will then pass on back to Raleigh, to our good friends over at Meredith College with Jonathan Wade. And that's our 4th year doing things over there as well. And then on Tuesday, we head over to UNC Chapel Hill over at Toy Lounge. And we invite you to come out there to Chapel Hill. And then we close things out back at Charlotte at Johnson C. Smith. This is the 1st year that they're participating, and we're very excited for them to be participating with us. So we have a full week of literary events to celebrate Literary Month, this International Book Month, also to be able to close out the 7-month-long festival that we started back in September the 29th. So to kick things off, para empezarnos, we want to start the way that we always start, which is the inspiration of this festival, El Quixote Festival, with the words of Cervantes. So to get us started, I'm going to invite Luis Navarro to read from El Quijote.
En un lugar de la Mancha, de cuyo nombre no quiero acordarme, no ha mucho tiempo que vivía un hidalgo de los de lanza en astillero, adarga antigua, rocín flaco y galgo corredor. Una olla de algo más vaca que carnero, salpicón las más noches, duelos y quebrantos los sábados, lentejas los viernes, algún palomino de añadidura los domingos. Consumían las 3 partes de su hacienda. El resto de ella concluía en suyo de velarse, calzas de velludo para las fiestas, con sus pantuflos de lomesino, y los días de entre semana se honraba con su vellori de lo más fino.
And so this year, our literary figure is Jose Marti. And the official poem of the festival, of course, is Cultivo una rosa blanca. I cultivate a white rose. So I'm going to start things off by reading in English. Cultivo una rosa blanca. I cultivate a white rose. I have a white rose to tend in July as in January. I give it to the true friend who offers his frank hand to me, and to the cruel one whose blows break the heart by which I live. Thistle nor thorn do I give, for him too I have a white rose. Cultivo una rosa blanca, en julio como en enero, para el amigo sincero que me da su mano franca, y para el cruel que me arranca el corazón, con que vivo, cardo ni orgullo, cultivo una rosa blanca.
Yo sé de Egipto y Nigricia, y de Persia y Serofonte, y prefiero la caricia del aire fresco del monte. Yo sé de las historias viejas, del hombre y de sus rencillas, y prefiero las abejas volando en campanillas. Yo sé del canto, del viento en las ramas, vocingleras. Nadie me diga que miento, que lo prefiero de veras. Yo sé de un gamo aterrado que vuelve al redil y expira, y de un corazón cansado que muere oscuro, sin ira. 3. Odio la máscara y vicio del corredor de mi hotel. Me vuelvo al manso bullicio de mi monte de laurel. Con los pobres de la tierra quiero yo mi suerte echar. El arroyo de la sierra me complace más que el mar. Denle al vano el oro tierno que arde y brilla en el crisol. A mí denme el bosque eterno cuando rompe en él el sol. Yo he visto el oro hecho tierra, barbullendo en la redoma. Prefiero estar en la sierra cuando vuela una paloma. Busca el obispo de España pilares para su altar. En mi templo, en la montaña, el álamo es el pilar. Y la alfombra es puro helecho, y los muros abedul, y la luz viene del techo del cielo azul. El obispo, por la noche, sale despacio a cantar, monta callado en su coche, que es la piña de un pinar. Las jacas de su carroza son dos pájaros azules, y canta el aire y retoza, y cantan los abedules. Duermo en mi cama de roca, mi sueño dulce y profundo. Roza una abeja mi boca y crece en mi cuerpo el mundo. Brillan las grandes molduras al fuego de la mañana, que tiñe las colgaduras de rosa, violeta y grana. El clarín, solo en el monte, canta el primer arrebol. La gasa del horizonte prende de un aliento el sol. Díganle al obispo ciego, al viejo obispo de España, que venga luego a mi templo, a la montaña. El cuarto. El 4. Eso es. Está en español, en inglés. This is. Sí.
4. Yo visitaré adelante los rincones donde a solas estuvimos yo y mi amante retozando con las olas. Solas las dos estuvimos, solos con la compañía de dos pájaros que vimos meterse en la gruta umbría. Y ella, clavado los ojos en la pareja liguera, decidió los lirios rojos que le dio la jardinera. La madre selva olorosa olió con sus manos ella, y una madama graciosa, y un yamín como una estrella. Yo quise diestro y gallán abrirle su girasol, y ella me dio qué afán si hoy me gusta ver el sol. In English, I will visit longingly all the places wherein theme my lover and I have been playing with waves by the sea. The two of us were alone, except for the company of twin birds that we could see, had to the dark cavern flown. And she her eyes riveted on the pair as light as air, plucked a spray of iris red the gardener gave to her. The sweet honeysuckle rose she then gathered from the dell, and a graceful mademoiselle where the star-like jasmine grows. And I, the gallant bee, began to open her parasol, and she said, "Don't think me droll, today I want to see the sun. I've never seen spires as tall as the clustered oaks appear. Surely the Christ must be here, because here is his cathedral." Nunca más altos he visto estos nobles humedales, Aquí debe estar el Cristo, porque están las catedrales. Ya sé dónde ha de venir mi niña a la comunión. De blanco la he de vestir con un gran sombrero alón. Después del calor de eso, entramos por el camino y nos dábamos un beso en cuanto sonaba un trío. Volveré, cualquiera no existe, al lago mudo y helado. Lavaré la quilla triste, posaré el remo callado. In English, I know now the place that's best for my daughter's first communion. All in white she will be dressed, with a hat curved like a pinion. At dusk the light we would miss, and on the path we'd set out. My lover and I would kiss whenever a cheer let out. As one who can no longer feel the quiet frozen lake I'll tour, there shall I bury the sad keel, and there lay down the still door. Si ves un monte de espumas, es mi verso lo que ves. Mi verso es un monte y es un abanico de plumas. Mi verso es como un puñal que por el puño echa flor. Mi verso es un surtidor que da un agua de coral. Mi verso es de un verde claro y de un carmín encendido. Mi verso es un ciervo herida que busca en el monte amparo. Mi verso al valiente agrada, mi verso breve y sincero, es del vigor del acero con que se funde la espada. In English, when sea caps rush to shore, my verses find their voice, with feathered fans they soar, and in the hills rejoice. My verse cuts like a blade, but the hilt holds just like a flower. From a mountain's music made, my verse is a coral shower. My verse is a gentle green, and is fiery red in part, in the forest refuge seen. My verse is the wounded heart. My poems the brave inspire, my poems are brief, sincere. They forge the sword with fire, and make the steel ring clear.
Capítulo 6. Si quieren que de este mundo lleve una memoria grata, llevare, Padre profundo, tu cabellera de plata. Si quieren, por gran favor, que lleve más, llevare la copia que hizo el pintor de la hermana que adore. Si quieren que a la otra vida me lleve todo un tesoro, y llevo la trenza escondida que guardo en mi caja de oro. In English. If I, a pleasant keepsake, on leaving this world may bear, Father profound, I would take a lock of your silver hair. Aloud for mercy's sake, one more favor to implore. The painter's portrait I take of the sister I adore. Could I to a treasure cling from this life and not foretold, the hidden tresses I'd bring, I keep in a chest of gold.
Verso 7. Para Aragón, en España, tengo yo en mi corazón un lugar todo Aragón, franco, fiero, fiel, sin saña. Si quiere un tonto saber por qué lo tengo, le digo que ahí tuve un buen amigo, que ahí quise a una mujer. La de la heroica defensa por mantener lo que piensa juega la gente la vida. Y si un alcalde lo aprieta o lo enoja un rey cazurro, calza la manta el baturro y muere con su escopeta. Quiero a la tierra amarilla que baña el Ebro lodoso. Quiero el pilar azuloso de Lanuza y de Padilla. Estimo a quien de un revés echa por tierra a un tirano. Lo estimo si es un cubano. Lo estimo si aragonés. Amo los patios sombríos con escaleras bordadas. Amo las naves calladas y los conventos vacíos. Amo la tierra florida, musulmana o española, donde rompió su corola la poca flor de mi vida. In English. For Aragon and Spain I hold a debt for values true, with loyalty and courage bold she did my soul renew. And if a fool should ponder why this place so claims my soul, this Aragon, I would reply, made love and friendship whole. In Aragon, the flowered vale saw scenes of fierce defense, a people's longing to prevail, though death be recompense. Should magistrate or king provoke the simple man's reply, take up his musket and his cloak with willingness to die. That yellowed land I now recall, the Ebro's muddy banks, the Virgin's shrine, adored by all in noble heroes' ranks. I esteem the tyrant's foe if he be Cuban bold, and if from Aragon I know the same esteem I hold. I still recall the shady court where beauty binds the stare of silent knaves I can report in somber convents fair. That Moorish Spanish land I love, that flowered land so fair, the meager bloom of my life's trove began to blossom there. Verso 8. Yo tengo un amigo muerto que suele venirme a ver. Mi amigo se sienta y canta, canta en voz que ha de doler. En un ave de dos alas bogo por el cielo azul. Una ala del ave es negra, otro de oro caribú. El corazón es un loco que no sabe de un color. O es su amor de dos colores o dice que no es amor. Hay una loca más fiera que el corazón infeliz, la que le chupó la sangre y se echó luego a reír. Corazón que lleva rota el ancla fiel del hogar, va como barca perdida que no sabe a dónde va. En cuanto llega a esta angustia, rompe el muerto a maldecir. Le amanso el cráneo, lo acuesto el muerto a dormir. In English. I have a dear friend who comes to visit me sometimes. My friend sits down and sings a score of sorrowful rhymes. On a two-winged bird I go drifting, wandering skyward bold. One wing of the bird is black, the other is caribou gold. My heart is a bird of madness that cannot choose black or gold. Either it flies to colors or it cannot be love, I'm told. But there is a madness more fierce than the unhappy heart, the laughing parasite that seeks to drain it, then draw apart. The heart that floats uprooted from the faithful anchor of home is lost like a drifting ship uncertain of where to roam. At these last words of anguish, the dead man cries out a curse. I gentle his head and put him to sleep in a final verse.
Quiero a la sombra de un ala contar este cuento en flor. La niña de Guatemala, la que se murió de amor. Eran de lirios los ramos y las orlas de reseda, y de jazmín la enterramos en un caja de seda. Ella dio al desmemoriado una almohadilla de olor. Él volvió cazador. Ella se murió de amor. Iban cargándola en andas. Obispos y embajadores. Detrás iba el pueblo en tandas, todo cargado de flores. Lay the dead man down to sleep. Ella, por volverlo a ver, salió a verlo a mirador. Él volvió con su mujer. Ella se murió de amor. Como de bronce candente, al beso de despedida. Era la frente, que más he amado en mi vida. Se entró de tarde en el río. La sacó muerta el doctor. Dicen que murió de frío. Yo sé que murió de amor. Ahí en la bóveda helada, la pusieron en dos bancos. Besé su mano afilada. Besé sus zapatos blancos. Callado al oscurecer. Me llamo el enterrador. Nunca más he vuelto a ver a la que murió de amor. By a spread wing on the groove, a tail looms in the nightshade of a Guatemalan maid, who she lost her life to love. The wreaths with lilies were twinned, and trimmed with henna and jasmine, and she was laid in her coffin, which all in satin was lined. A cushion filled with a sweet spray she gave her forgetful lover. He returned weds to another, and dead of her love she lay. She was borne in state to her grave by ambassadors and churchmen, and behind with flowers laden came the poor, wave upon wave. She opened her lattice door, to see him again she sighed, and saw him pass with his bride, and then she saw him no more. Her forehead was bronze ablaze when I last kissed her goodbye. Hers was the forehead that I laid the dead man down to sleep.
Verso 10. El alma trémula y sola padece el anochecer. Hay baile, vamos a ver la bailarina española. Han hecho bien en quitar el banderón de la acera, porque si está la bandera, no sé, yo no puedo entrar. Ya llega la bailarina, soberbia y pálida llega. ¿Cómo dicen que es gallega? Pues dicen mal, es divina. Lleva un sombrero torero y una capa carmesí, lo mismo que una lili que se pusiese un sombrero. Se ve, de paso, la ceja de mora traidora, y la mirada de mora como nieve la oreja. Preludian, bajan la luz y salen bata y mantón, la Virgen de la Asunción bailando un baile andaluz. Alza retando la frente, cruzas el hombro la manta, en arco el brazo levanta, mueve despacio el pie ardiente. Repica con los tacones, entablados a la vera, como si la tabla fuera tablado de corazones. Y va el cómbite creciendo en las llamas de los ojos, y el manto de flecos rojos se va en el aire meciendo. Súbito, de un salto arranca, húrtase, se quiebra, gira, abre en dos la cachemira, ofrece la bata blanca. El cuerpo cede y ondea, la boca abierta provoca, es una rosa la boca, lentamente taconea. Recoge de un débil giro el manto de flecos rojos, se va cerrando los ojos, se va como en un suspiro. Baila muy bien la española, es blanco y rojo el mantón, vuelve posca a su rincón el alma trémula y sola. In English. My soul, tremulous and lonely, at nightfall will grow forlorn. There's a show, let us go see the Spanish dancer perform. It is well they've taken down the flag that stood at the entrance, for I don't think I could go hence if that banner were still flown. The Spanish dancer enters then, looking so proud and so pale. From Galicia does she hail? No, they are wrong, she's from heaven. She wears the matador's tricorne, and also his crimson cape, a gilliflower to drape, and with a great hat adorned. On passing, her eyebrows show, eyebrows of a traitor's Moor, and the Moor's proud look she wore, and her ear was white as snow. The music starts, the lights dim, in shawl and gown, there advances the Virgin of the Assumption, dancing Andalusian dances. Her head raised in challenge, she, the cape o'er her shoulders was spread, with her arched arms framing her head, she taps her foot ardently. Her studied taps tear the baton, as if each heel were a blade, and the stage had been inlaid with the broken hearts of men. The festive feeling is burning in the fire of her eyes. The red speckled shawl now flies in the air as she is turning. With a sudden leap she starts, rebounds, then turns and bows down. Wide her cashmere shawl she parts to offer us her white gown. All her body yields and sways, her open mouth is enticing. A rose is her mouth, while dancing she's tapping her heels always. Then turns she feebly to wind the long and red speckled shawl, and shutting her eyes to all, in a sigh leaves all behind. The Spanish dancer has done well. Red and white was her long shawl. The tremulous, lonely soul withdraws again to itself.
En el bote iba remando por el lado seductor, con el sol que era oro puro, y en el alma más de un sol. Y a mis pies vi de repente, ofendido de hedor, un pez muerto, un pez hediondo, en el bote remoto. I have a page of loyal renown, who bends to all my desires, takes care of me, never tires, cleans and shines my laurel crown. My page excels at his job, he will neither eat nor sleep, and rides in pain when I keep long hours at work or sob. When I leave, the scoundrel dashes, and in my pocket appears. When I return, the dolt nears to offer a cup of ashes. When I wake at crack of dawn, he's up and beside my bed. When I write, the blood he shed into my quill is drawn. My page I can always count on, that he rattles as he walks, chills and warms the one he stalks. My page is a skeleton. I think this is the one. Okay, here we go. Correct one in English. Once I was sailing for fun on a lake of great allure. Like gold, the sun shone so pure, in my soul more than the sun. Then suddenly I could smell, before I saw at my feet, a foul fish with dead replete at the bottom of the well.
Capítulo 13. Por donde abunda la malva y da el camino un rodeo. Iba un ángel de paseo con una cabeza calva. Del castellar, por la zona, la pareja se perdía. La calva resplandecía lo mismo que una corona. Sonaba el hacha en lo espeso y cruzó un ave volando, pero no se sabe cuándo. Si dieron el primer beso, era rubio el ángel, era el de la calva radiosa, como el tronco a que amorosa se prenden la enredadera. In English, near where the mallows spread, where the road turns suddenly round, an angel and a balding head were walking upon the ground. Near where the chestnuts stand, the pair was lost to sight, and bathed by a luminous band was the bare head shining bright. An axe was heard in the thicket, overhead flew a bird, but I cannot say for sure where the first kiss occurred. The angel was blonde and fair, the head by a halo crowned, looked like a tree trunk when the ivy was wrapped around.
Verso 14. Yo no puedo olvidar nunca la mañanita de otoño, en que le salió un retoño a la pobre rama trunca. La mañanita en que, en vano, junto a la estufa apagada, una niña enamorada le tendió al viejo la mano. In English. Ne'er will I forget, I vow, that fall morning long ago, when I saw a new leaf grow upon the old withered bough. That dear morning when for naught by a stove whose flame had died, a girl in love stood beside an old man and his hand sought. Verso 15. Vino el médico amarillo a darme su medicina, con una mano centrina y la otra mano al bolsillo. Yo tengo allá en un rincón un médico que no manca, con una mano muy blanca y otra mano al corazón. Viene de blusa y casquete el grave del repostero, a preguntarme si quiero o Málaga o Pajarete. Díganle a la repostera que a tanto tiempo no he visto, que me tenga un beso listo al entrar la primavera. In English. The yellow doctor comes yet to give me his remedy, with one jaundiced hand for me and the other in his pocket. In a corner dwells apart a doctor whose touch is light, with a hand so very white and the other on his heart. The pastry chef comes to me in his paper hat and smock. To ask, I sample his stock of Malaga or sherry. Please inform the pastry cook, she I've longed to see and miss, to prepare for me a kiss, and for spring's first sign to look. Verso 16. En el alféizar calado de la ventana moruna, pálido como la luna, medita un enamorado. Pálida en su canapé de seda, tórtola y roja. Eva, callada, deshoja una violeta en el té. In English. Opening the Moorish grate to lean upon the wet sill, pale as the moon and so still, a lover ponders his fate. Pale beneath her canopy of red silk and turtle dove, Eve, who says nothing of love, a violet plucks in her teeth.
Verso 17. Es rubia, el cabello suelto da más luz al ojo moro. Voy desde entonces envuelto en un torbellino de oro. La abeja estival que zumba más ágil por la flor nueva, no dice como antes tumba. Eva dice, todo es Eva. Bajo en lo oscuro al temido raudal de la catarata y brilla el iris tendido sobre las hojas de plata. Miro, ceñudo la agreste pompa del monte irritado, en el alma azul celeste brota un jacinto rosado. Voy por el bosque a paseo a la laguna vecina, y entre las ramas la veo, y por el agua camina. La serpiente del jardín silba, escupe y se resbala por su agujero. El clarín me tiende trinado el ala. Arpa soy, salterio soy, donde vibra el universo. Vengo del sol y al sol voy. Soy el amor, soy el verso. And in English. She's blonde and her loosened locks give light to the Moorish eye. In a whirlwind of golden flocks, I find myself spinning by. The summer bee likes fresh blooms for the pollen he'll receive. But now as his humming resumes, now everything is Eve. I walk down the shaded lanes to falls where the water cleaves, and a prison of light remains, glistening on silver leaves. I frown looking down at the whole of the rural scene below, and celestial realms of the soul a hyacinth beauty bestow. I stroll through the forest to see, and close to the lake I spy, peering through branches, that she walks along by the lake nearby. Where the garden serpent lies, it hisses and slithers away, the tropical thrush replies, and stretches a wing my way. I am harp and psalter in one, where hums the universe. I come from, I go to the sun. I am love, and I am verse.
Verso 18. El alfiler de Eva loca es hecha de oro oscuro, que le sacó un hombre puro del corazón de una roca. Un pájaro tentador le trajo en el pico ayer, un relumbrante alfiler de pasta y de simulor. Eva se prendió al oscuro, tallé el diamante embustero y hecho en el alfiletero alfiler de oro oscuro. In English. The bridge that foolish Eve did own was sculpted of darkest gold ore, which once a pyramid had dug for in the very heart of stone. Last night a tempting bird had flown, and brought in his beak the damsel. A brilliant brooch she could not tell was made of paste and of rhinestone. Now on her shrouded waist Eve wore the fake diamond she judged the best, and tossed into the jewelry chest the brooch she had of pure gold.
Verso 19. Por tus ojos encendidos y lo mal puesto de un broche, pensé que estuviste anoche jugando a juegos prohibidos. Te odié por vil y alegosa, te odié con odio de muerte. Náusea me daba de verte, tan villana y tan hermosa. Y por la escuela que vi, sin saber cómo ni cuándo, sé que Estuviste llorando toda la noche por mí. In English, because your eyes were two flames and your brooch wasn't pinbrick, I thought you had spent the night in playing forbidden games. Because you were vile and devious, such deadly hatred I bore you. To see you was to abhor you, so lovely and yet so villainous. Because a note came to light, I know now where you had been, and what you had done unseen, cried for me all the long night.
Mi amor del aire se azora, Eva es rubia, falsa es Eva. Viene una nubia y se lleva. Mi amor que gime y que llora. Se lleva mi amor que llora. Esa nube que se va. Eva me ha sido traidora. Eva me consolora. In English, my love hesitant tarries. Eva, blonde and untrue. A cloud comes by and carries the pain and tears I knew. My weeping love is borne away by a passing cloud. Eva who made me mourn is Eva who makes me proud. Estoy en el baile extraño de Poliana y Casaquín, que dan del año hacia el fin los cazadores del año. Una duquesa violeta va con un frac colorado, marca un vizconde pintado, el tiempo en la pandereta. Y pasan las chupas rojas, pasan los tules de fuego, como delante de un ciego, pasan volando las hojas. In English, I find myself here at a dance for the hunters of the year, and all have come out tonight arrayed in their festive gear. A duchess in violet skirts, by a bright dress coat is seen, and by a painted viscount marks time with the beat of a tambourine. Red jackets and petticoats flash like fire and go dancing by, as leaves in front of a blind man that swirl around, leap and fly.
XXI. Ayer la vi en el salón de los pintores, y ayer detrás de aquella mujer se me saltó el corazón. Sentada en el suelo rudo está en el lienzo, dormido al pie el esposo rendido, al seno el niño desnudo. Sobre unas brisnas de paja se ven mendrugos mondados. Le cuelga el manto a los lados, lo mismo que una mortaja. No nace en el torvo suelo, ni una viola, ni una espiga. Muy lejos la casa amiga, muy triste y oscuro el cielo. Esa es la hermosa mujer que me robó el corazón, en el soberbio salón de los pintores de ayer. Y in English, yesterday at the art show, I saw her, and yesterday my heart for me flew away, after that woman to follow. She sits on the bare ground to rest, on canvas her vigil she keeps. The tired spouse at her feet sleeps, and a naked babe her breast. Atop a bale of straw is seen the peeled remnants of their last meal. Her draping mantle she can feel as if death shroud it had been. On the grim earth for the weary grow neither violet nor thorn. From a loving home they're torn, and the sky is dark and dreary. That lovely woman made away with my heart and will not free it, at the proud salon's exhibit of masters of yesterday.
Yo quiero salir del mundo por la puerta natural, en un carro de hojas verdes. A morir me han de llevar. No me pongan en lo oscuro, a morir como un traidor. Yo soy bueno, y como bueno, morir de cara a sol. In English, from this world I will depart, and a natural door would try. Green leaves will cover the cart on which I'm taking to die. Daunt and darkest, let me die, with traitors to come undone. I am good, and as the good die, I will die face to the sun. Sé de un pintor atrevido que sale a pintar contento sobre la tela del viento y la espuma del olvido. Yo sé de un pintor gigante, el de divinos colores, puesto a pintarle las flores a una corbeta mercante. Yo sé de un pobre pintor que mira el agua al pintar. El agua ronca del mar con un entrañable amor. I know of a painter bold who lets his brush run free on sails of the wind retold and whitecaps lost at sea. I know of a painter so great, his colors, divine creation, yet willing to help create a merchant ship's decoration. I know of a painter who braves the ocean for inspiration, and in the roar of the waves finds love and consolation.
Yo pienso cuando me alegro como un color sencillo en el canario amarillo que tiene el ojo tan negro. Yo quiero cuando me mira sin patria, pero sin amor, tener en mi losa un ramo de flores y una bandera. In English, I am still taken aback with a simple schoolboy's glee by the yellow canary whose eyes is so very black. When I die without a slave, nor to any man without a country, nor to any man a slave, I want a wreath on my grave and a flag draped over me.
Yo que vivo, aún que me he muerto, soy un gran descubridor, porque anoche he descubierto la medicina de amor. Cuando al peso de la cruz el hombre morir resuelve, sale a hacer bien, lo hace y vuelve, como de un baño de luz. In English, I who live, though I've died, have discovered the greatest thing, because last night I discovered the healing that love can bring. When by way of the cross a man resolves he must die, he comes, does good, and returns, bathed by light drawing nigh.
El enemigo brutal nos pone fuego a la casa, el sable la calle rasa a la luna tropical. Pocos salieron ilesos del sable de español, la calle al salir el sol era un reguero dos sesos. Pasa entre balas un coche, entra llorando a una muerta, llama un hermano a la puerta en lo negro de la noche. No hay bala que no taladre el portón y la mujer, que llama me ha dado el ser, me viene a buscar mi madre. A la boca de la muerte, los valientes habaneros se quitaron los sombreros ante la matrona fuerte. Y después que nos besamos como dos locos me dijo, vamos pronto, vamos hijo, la niña está sola, vamos. In English, the brutal enemy last night, our houses torched as we slept. The streets with his sword were swept by the tropical moonlight. Few there were who had not bore the Spanish saber's wild fury, and at sunrise all could see the streets steeped in blood and gore. Amid the shooting, a coach in flight, a dead woman took inside, a voice cried out, a knock defied, the leading clamor of the night. Bullets then were flying wildly, and the door with holes was rife. The woman calling gave me life, my mother had come to get me. Through the jaws of death she pressed on, and the brave Havanans and all, their hats would lift when they saw in the streets the strong-willed matron. As Madam kissed, we kissed so, while around us people fled. Quickly, let's go, she said, the baby's alone, let's go.
28. Por la tumba del Corrijo, donde está el padre enterrado, pasa el hijo desolado, del invasor pasa el hijo. El padre, con bravo en la guerra, envuelto en su pabellón,
alzase y de un bofetón, lotiendo, muerto por tierra. El rayo lo luce zumba, por viento por el cortillo. El padre recoge al hijo y se lo lleva a la tumba. There where the farmhouse stoops, and the father long buried lay, comes the stump of invading troops, as the sun passed by that way. The father, a fallen hero, wrapped in the flag and brave, arose, gave a mighty blow, and brought his son to the grave. Lightning gleams, and it's done. The wind forecasts his doom. Father receives his son, and takes him to share the tomb.
El rayo surca sangriento, el lobrego nubarón, echa el barco ciento a ciento, los negros por el botón. El viento fiero quebraba, los almácigos cúpulos, andaba la hilera, andaba, de los esclavos desnudos. El temporal sacudía, los barracones henchidos. Una madre con su cría pasaba dando alaridos. Rojo como en el desierto, salió el sol al horizonte y alumbró a un esclavo muerto, colgado a un ceibo de monte. Un niño lo vio, tembló de pasión por los que gimen, y al pie de muerto juró lavar con su vida el crimen. By law, the king's face appears on all the instruments of state, and the king's own volunteers with his guns seal the boy's fate. It's the law to celebrate the sainted name takes of kings, and there the boy sister sings in front of the royal portrait.
El rayo surca sangriento, el lobrego nubarón, echa al barco ciento a ciento los negros por el patrón. El viento fiero quebraba los almácigos copullos, andaba la hilera, andaba de los esclavos desnudos. El temporal sacudía los barracones henchidos. Una madre con su cría pasaba dando alaridos. Rojo como en el desierto, salió el sol al horizonte y alumbró a un esclavo muerto colgado a un ceibo del monte. Un niño lo vio, tembló de pasión por los que gimen, y al pie del muerto juró lavar con su vida el crimen. In English, the lightning the heavens scorches, and the clouds are blood-stained patches. The ship its hundreds disgorges, of captive blacks through the hatches. The fierce winds and brutal rains beat against the dense plantation. In a file the slaves in chains are led naked for inspection. All the storm's furious sails, the thatched huts swollen with slaves. A harried mother bewails, the human litter none saves. Red as in the desert zone, the sun rose on the horizon, and upon the dead slave shone, hanged from a tree on the mountain. A boy saw him there and shook with passion for the oppressed, and at his feet an oath he took that this cry would be redressed. 31. Para modelo de un dios, el pintor lo envió a pedir. Para eso no, para ir, patria, a servirte los dos. Bien estará en la pintura el hijo que amó y bendigo, mejor en la queja oscura, cara a cara al enemigo. Es rubio, es fuerte, es garzón de nobleza natural, hijo por la luz natal, hijo por el pabellón. Vamos pues, hijo viril, vamos los dos, si yo muero. Me besas si tú prefiero verte muerto a verte vil. In English, the painter wanted a model that he could pose for a god, not for that he was begot, not for that was he begot, but to go with me to battle. There he would pose to advantage, the son I bless and love so. Better here on the cliff's edge, face to face with charging foe. He is blond and strong and manly, with natural nobility. My son, because born to me, and because born to my country. Let us go, my brave son, while we may both go, if I die. Kiss me if you fain would I see you dead, then know you vile.
En el negro callejón, donde en tinieblas paseo, alzo los ojos y veo la iglesia erigida a un rincón. ¿Será misterio? ¿Será revelación y poder? ¿Será rodilla el deber de postrarse? ¿Qué será? Tiembla la noche en la para, muerde el gusano el retoño. Grazna, llamando el otoño, la hueca y la osca cigarra. Graznan dos, atento al dúo. Alzo los ojos y veo que la iglesia del paseo tiene la forma de un búho. By the garden's narrow gate, I pass in twilight's grace. Raise eyes to contemplate, and the church is what I face. Is it mystery? Do I feel some power or revelation? Am I duty bound to kneel with an air of consecration? Night trembles in the vines, a worm devours the sprout. Autumn reveals its signs, as cicadas rustle about. The cicadas sing, I prowl, and raise my eyes to find that the church is like an owl in the musings of my mind.
Verso 33. De mi desdicha espantosa siento, oh estrellas, que muero. Yo quiero vivir, yo quiero ver a una mujer hermosa. El cabello como un casco le corona el rostro bello. Brilla su negro cabello como un sable de Damasco. Aquella, pues pon la hiel del mundo entero en un haz, y tállala en cuerpo, y haz una alma entera de hiel. Esta, pues está infeliz, lleva escarpines rosados y los labios colorados y la cara de barniz. El alma lúgubre grita, mujer, maldita mujer. No sé yo quién pueda ser entre las dos la maldita. I'm so frightfully unhappy. I feel, oh stars, I could die. I want to live. I want to see a lovely woman pass by. Like a helmet, her headdress, a beautiful face protects. Her black hair the light reflects as the sword of Damascus. What of that one? Well, find all the world's gall and then enmesh, covered it in so much flesh, and you have a soul that's all gall. Well, this one, such a disgrace. The creature red slippers wears, paints her lips red if she cares, and puts on a varnished face. The sorrowful soul then screamed, damn you, woman, twice damn you. I know not which of the two the more accursed should be deemed.
Verso 34. Penas. ¿Quién osa decir que tengo yo penas? Luego, después del rayo y del fuego, tendré tiempo de sufrir. Yo sé de un pesar profundo entre las penas sin nombres. La esclavitud de los hombres es la gran pena del mundo. Hay montes y hay que subir los montes altos. Después veremos, alma, quién es quien te me ha puesto a morir. Sorrows? Who dares to cite that I have troubles to claim? After the fire and the fight, then I'll have time to complain. I know with conviction and right, though troubles may bear no name, I know that slavery's blight is man's most terrible shame. Mountains before us shall rise, we'll climb to the highest to see, and there, O my soul, surmise, who, when I die, sets you free.
35. ¿Qué importa que tu puñal se me clave en el riñón? Tengo mis versos, que son más fuertes que tu puñal. ¿Qué importa que este dolor seque el mar y nuble el cielo? El verso, Dulce consuelo, nace al lado del dolor. In English, what matters that your dagger into my heart is plunged far? I have my verses, which are more powerful than your dagger. What matters that this great pain clouds the sky and drains the sea? My verse, sweet solace to me, is born with the wings of pain. 36. Ya sé, de carne se puede hacer una flor. Se puede con el pudor del cariño hacer un cielo y un niño. De carne se hace también el alacrán, y también el gusano de la rosa, y la lechuza espantosa. The uses of flesh are mild. Of flesh one can make a flower, and of flesh can with love's power make a heaven and a child. The uses of flesh are foul. Of flesh the scorpion is made, the worm that makes the rose fade, as well as the frightening owl.
Aquí está el pecho, mujer, que ya se lo herirás. Más grande debiera ser para que lo que hirieses más. Porque noto alma torcida que en mi pecho milagroso, mientras más honda la herida, es mi canto más hermoso. My heart, O woman at will, lies open to wounds retained. Would it were greater still, and would greater sorrows sustain. O tortured soul I know, and this miracle I sense, that when deeper sorrows flow, my song is more intense. 38. Del tirano, diroto di mas y clava, con furia de mano esclava, sobre su oprobio al tirano, del error, pues del error, di el antro, di las veredas oscuras, di cuanto puedas, del tirano y del error. De mujer, pues puede ser, que mueras de su morida, pero no empañes tu vida diciendo mal de mujer. English, of tyrants' woes, renounce the voice and deed, with slaves' fierce hand oppose the cruel tyrant's creed. Of error speak boldly too, and invoke the cry of shame. Decry the liars and paths untrue that tyrants and errors claim. Of woman, O the strife, if her poison should end your days, but never tarnish your life, speaking ill of woman's ways.
Cultivo una rosa blanca, en julio como un enero, para el amigo sincero, que me da su mano franca, y para el cruel que me arranca, el corazón con que vivo, para ni oruga cultivo una rosa blanca. In English, I have a white rose to tend in July as in January. I give it to the true friend who offers his frank hand to me, and to the cruel one who blows, break the heart by which I live. Thistle nor thorn do I give, for him too I have a white rose. 40. Pinta mi amigo el pintor, sus enjeglos dorados en nubes arredillados, con soles alrededor. Píntame con sus pinceles los angelitos medrosos que me trajeron piadosos dos ramas de clavales. In English, my friend the artist portrays his angels golden and stout, kneeling on clouds as they pray, with bursting suns all about. Paint me with your best creations, the angels small and afraid, with a thoughtful present made to me of their red carnations.
Cuando me vino el olor de la tierra hermosa, no pensé en blanca ni hermosa, ni en lo grande del factor. Pensé en el pobre artillero, que está en la tumba, callado. Pensé en mi padre, el soldado. Pensé en mi padre, el obrero. Cuando llegó la pomposa carta en su noble cubierta. Pensé en la tumba desierta. No pensé en blanca ni en rosa. When I the honor was brought, a kind land on me bestowed. Of Blanche nor of Rose I thought, nor of the favor I owed. I thought then of an old soldier, who lies silent with his maker. Of my poor father, the worker, of my poor father, the soldier. When I the pompous letter got, written in the noble script, I thought of the lonely crypt. Of Blanche and Rose I thought not.
En el extraño bazar de amor junto a la mar, la perla triste y sin par le tocó por suerte a Agar. Agar de tanto tenerla, a pecho de tanto verla, Agar llegó a brocharla. A Majo tiró al mar la perla, y cuando Agar, venenosa de furia y llorosa, pidió al mar la perla hermosa, dijo la mar borrascosa: ¿Qué hiciste, torpe? ¿Qué hiciste? De la perla que tuviste, la majestad, me la diste. Yo guardo la perla triste. 'Twas in love's stranger bazaar, in a seaside land afar, that a Moorish girl Agar had a pearl without a par. But the pearl that the maiden wore began to tire and bore. In haste and in anger, more, she cast the pearl from the shore. When the storm of anger died, Agar in sorrow cried. Wanting the pearl, she sighed, and the gusty sea replied: In anger now you weep, and full in it you reap. You drew the pearl to the deep, now the pearl is mine to keep. Mucha señora darla, por tender sobre tu espada, tu cabella bravia, tu cabella delgada, despacio la tendiría, callado la besaría. Por sobre la oreja fina, baja lujoso el cabello, lo mismo que una cortina que se levanta hacia el cuello. La hoja es obra divina, de procedencia de China. Mucha señora te diría, por desenrida el nudo de tu roja cabella, sobre tu cuello de su nudo. Muy despacio la esperacera. Ello por ello la abría. Fair lady, I will give much to spread upon your shoulder. Your tousled mane so bold, your mane a reddish gold. Slowly I spread it with bliss, and quietly give it a kiss. Draped o'er sculpted ear, the luxuriant hair descends, like a curtain rising to show the beautiful neckline below. The ear of exquisite design, a porcelain work most fine. Fair lady, much how along, to unfasten the tie that restrains, and to loosen your reddish hair. Up in your neck so bare, slowly I covered a nape, slowly let each strand escape.
La Edad de Oro, José Marti, the Golden Age, of course. Three heroes. It is said that a traveler once reached Caracas at nightfall, and even before brushing off the road dust, he asked not where he could eat and sleep, but how he could get to Bolivar's statue. It is said that the traveler, alone with the tall and fragrant trees of the square, wept in front of the statue, which seemed to be moving, like a father at the approach of the sun. The traveler did well, for every American should love Bolivar as a father. We should love Bolivar and the others who fought, as he did so that America would belong to Americans. We should love them all, the famous hero as well as the very last soldier, who is an unknown hero. Men who fight to see their country free even become handsome. Freedom is everyone's right to be honest and to think and speak without hypocrisy. In America, a man could not be honest or think or speak his mind. A man who hides what he thinks or dares not say what he thinks is not an honest man. A man who obeys a bad government without working to make that government good is not an honest man. A man who is willing to obey unjust laws and who allows men to mistreat the land of his birth to tread upon it, is not an honest man. From the moment a child is able to think, he must think about everything he sees, must suffer for all who cannot live honestly, must work to enable all men to be honest, and must be himself be honest. The child who is heedless of what happens around him, and who is constant merely to live, not caring if he lives honestly, is like a man who lives from the work of a scoundrel and is on the way of becoming a scoundrel. There are men who are worse than animals, because animals need freedom to live happily. The elephant does not want to bear young while in a cage. The Peruvian llama throws itself to the ground and dies when the Indian speaks harshly to it or puts too big a load on its back. People must be at least as dignified as elephants or llamas. Before America was free, people lived like overloaded llamas. They had to throw off their burden or die. There are men who can live contently, even if they do live undignified lives. There are others who suffer as if in agony when they see people around them living without dignity. There must be a certain amount of dignity in the world, just as there must be a certain amount of light. When there are many undignified men, there are always others who have within them the dignity of many men. These are the ones who rebel furiously against those who rob nations of their freedom, which is such men embody thousands of men, an entire nation, human dignity itself. Those men are sacred. These men are sacred. Venezuela's Bolivar, San Martin from Rio de Plata, and Mexico's Hidalgo. Their mistakes should be forgiven. They did. Men cannot be more perfect than the sun. The sun burns and warms with the same light. The sun has sunspots. The ungrateful talk only about the spots. The grateful talk about the light. Bolivar was a short man. His eyes flashed fire and wealth. He seemed always to be waiting to mount his horse. It was his country, his oppressed country, that weighed heavily on his heart, and it would not let him live in peace. All of the Americas seemed to be awakening. One man alone is never worth more than an entire nation. But there are men who never tired when their nation tires, men who decide upon war before their nation does, for they have nobody to consult but themselves. And nations are composed of many people that cannot be consulted so quickly. That was Bolivar's fault, merit. He never tired of fighting for Venezuela's freedom when Venezuela seemed to be tiring. The Spaniards had defeated him, had thrown him out of the country. He went away to an island, seeing his country nearby and thinking about it. When nobody wanted to help him anymore, a generous Negro came to his aid. It was one day Bolivar returned to fight with 300 heroes, with 300 liberators. He liberated Venezuela. He liberated New Granada. He liberated Peru. He founded a new nation, the nation of Bolivia. He won sublime battles with the help of soldiers who were half naked and had no shoes. Everything around him shimmered and was filled with light. Generals fought beside him with supernatural bravery. It was an army of youngsters. Never on earth had there been so much fighting, or better fighting, for freedom. Bolivar did not defend men's right to govern themselves as fiercely as he did America's right to be free. The envious exaggerated his fault. Bolivar died from a sorrowful heart, rather than from any sickness, in the house of the Spaniard in Santa Marta. He died poor, but he left a family of nations. Mexico had courageous men and women who were not many, but very valuable. Half dozen men and one woman paved the way for making their country free. There are a few brave youths, the husband of a liberal woman and a village priest of 60 who is extremely fond of the Indians. Ever since this childhood, Father Hidalgo had belonged to the good race, those who love knowledge. People who do not love knowledge belong to the bad race. Hidalgo knew French, which then something to be admired because few people knew it. He read books of the 18th century philosophers, books that explained man's right to be honest and to think and to speak without hypocrisy. The sight of Negro slaves filled him with horror. He saw the Indians, who are gentle and generous, mistreated, and felt like an older brother among them, teaching them skills with which the Indians learned so well. Music, which is comforting, raising worms that produce silk, raising bees that give honey. He was filled with enthusiasm and enjoyed making such things as kilns for drying bricks. Now and then his green eyes were seen to sparkle. Everyone said that the priests from the town of Dolores talked very well, knew much that was new and was very charitable. They said he used to go to the city of Querétaro occasionally to talk with a few of the brave and with a husband of a good lady. A trader told a Spanish commander that those friends in Querétaro were trying to set Mexico free. The priest mounted his horse, followed by all of his people who loved him dearly. He was set about gathering together the foremen and servants of the haciendas, who would make up the cavalry. The Indians went on foot, carrying sticks and arrows or slings and laces. A regiment joined him and seized a convoy of gunpowder, which was meant for the Spaniards. Hidalgo entered Celaya in triumph, with music and cheering. On the following day, the municipal government met, named him general, and a nation was in the process of being born. He made lances and hand grenades. He gave talks that warmed the heart and threw sparks. As one foreman said, it was free. He returned the Indians to their land. He published a newspaper called El Despertador Americano. He won and lost battles. One day, 7,000 Indians equipped with arrows joined them, and the next day they left him alone. The bad people wanted to go with him so they could steal in the towns and also take revenge upon the Spaniards. He informed the Spanish commanders that if he won the battle about to be fought, that he would receive them in his house as friends. This is a great man. He dared to be magnanimous, and he was not afraid that the unruly soldiery who wanted him to be cruel would desert him. His companion Allende was jealous of him, and so he surrendered the command to Allende. Both men, in their defeat, were seeking shelter when the Spaniards fell upon them. As if to humiliate Father Hidalgo, the Spaniards stripped him of his priestly vestments one by one. They took him behind a wall and fired fatal shots into his head. He fell while still alive, writhing in his blood, and on the ground they finished him off. They decapitated him and hung his head in a cage.
Yeah.
The bad people wanted to go with him so they could steal in the towns and also take revenge upon the Spaniards. He informed the Spanish commanders that if he won the battle about to be fought, he would receive them in his house as friends. That is a great man. He dared to be magnanimous, and he was not afraid that the unruly soldiery who wanted him to be cruel would desert him. His companion, Allende, was jealous of him, so he surrendered the command to Allende. Both men, in their defeat, were seeking shelter when the Spaniards fell upon them. As if to humiliate Father Hidalgo, the Spaniards stripped him of his priestly vestments one by one. They took him behind a wall and fired fatal shots into his head. He fell while still alive, writhing in his blood, and on the ground they finished him off. They decapitated him and hung his head in a cage in the very same public granary of Granaditas, where his government used to be. The bodies were buried, but Mexico is free. San Martin was the liberator of the South. the father of the Republic of Argentina, the father of Chile. His parents were Spaniards, and they sent him to Spain to be a soldier under the king. When Napoleon took his army into Spain to rob the Spaniards of their freedom, all the Spaniards fought against Napoleon, even the old men and the women and children. One night, a brave Catalonian boy routed an entire company, shooting at its soldiers again and again from his hiding place in the mountains. They found the boy dead, killed by hunger and cold, but his face was bathed in light and smiling as if he were happy. San Martin fought very well in the Battle of Bailen and was made lieutenant colonel. He was a man of few words, seemed to be made of steel, had the eyes of an eagle. Nobody disobeyed him. His horse raced all over the battlefield like a thunderbolt through the air. As soon as he learned that America was fighting for its freedom, he came to America. What did he care if he had to give up his career as long as he could fulfill his duty? He arrived in Buenos Aires, wasted no time on speeches, raised a squadron of cavalry, fought his first battle in San Lorenzo, sword in hand. San Martin went after the Spaniards, who were very self-confident and beating their drums. They lost their drums, their cannons, and their flag. In other nations of America, the Spaniards were winning. Murillo the Cruel had thrown Bolivar out of Venezuela. Hidalgo was dead. O'Higgins had fled Chile, but wherever San Martin was, America continued being free. There are men who cannot bear to see slavery. San Martin was one of them, so he went on to liberate Chile and Peru. In 18 days, he and his army crossed the bitterly cold and very high Andes. The hungry and thirsty men marched as if they were skywalking. Below, far below, the trees looked like grass and the waterfalls roared like lions. Then San Martin found himself facing the Spanish army, and he shattered it in the Battle of Maipú, defeating it for good in the Battle of Chacabuco. He liberated Chile. Then he and his troops boarded ships and sailed on to liberate Peru. But Bolivar was already there, so San Martin gave him the glory. San Martin went sadly back to Europe and died in the arms of his daughter Mercedes. He wrote his will on a little sheet of paper, as if it were a battle report. They had given him the banner the conquistador Pizarro had brought 4 centuries before, and San Martin in turn bequeathed it to Peru. A sculptor is admirable because he can make a figure emerge out of rough stone. These men who make nations are in a sense more than men. At times they wanted what they should want, but what would not a son forgive his father for? The heart fills with tenderness when one thinks of those gigantic founders of nations. They are heroes, the men who fight to set nations free, or who suffer in poverty and disgrace to defend a great truth. Those who fight for their own ambitions, or to enslave other peoples, or to gain more power or rob another nation of its lands, are not heroes, but criminals.
Tres héroes. Cuentan que un viajero llegó un día a Caracas al anochecer y sin sacudirse el polvo del camino. No preguntó dónde se comía ni se dormía, sino cómo se iba a donde estaba la estatua de Bolívar. Y cuentan que el viajero, solo con los árboles altos y olorosos de la plaza, graba frente a la estatua, que parecía que se movía como un padre cuando se acerca un hijo. El viajero hizo bien, porque todos los americanos deben querer a Bolívar como a un padre. A Bolívar y a todos los que pelearon como el porqué la América fuese del hombre americano. A todos al héroe famoso y al último soldado, que es un héroe desconocido. Hasta hermosos de cuerpo se vuelven los hombres que pelean por ver libre a su patria. Libertad es el derecho que todo hombre tiene a ser honrado, y a pensar y a hablar sin hipocresía. En América no se podía ser honrado, ni pensar ni hablar. Un hombre que piensa o no se atreve a decir lo que piensa. No es un hombre honrado. Un hombre que obedece a un mal gobierno sin trabajar conforme con obedecer a leyes injustas y permite que pisen el país en que nació los hombres que se lo maltratan. No es un hombre honrado. El niño, desde que puede pensar, debe pensar en todo lo que ve. Debe padecer por todos los que no pueden vivir con honradez. Debe trabajar porque puedan ser honrados todos los hombres. Debe ser un hombre honrado. El niño que no piensa en lo que sucede a su alrededor y se contenta con vivir, sin saber si vive honradamente, es como un hombre que vivo y está en camino de ser vivo. Hay hombres que son peores que las bestias porque las cuando vive preso. La llama del Perú se echa en la tierra y se muere. Cuando el indio le habla con dureza o le peno más carga de la que puede soportar. El hombre debe ser, por lo menos, tan decoroso como el elefante y como la llama. En América se vivía antes de libertad como la llama que tiene mucha carga encima. Era necesario quitarse la carga o morir. Hay hombres que viven contentos aunque vivan sin decoro. Hay otros que padecen como en agonía cuando ven que los hombres viven sin decoro a su alrededor. En el mundo ha de haber cierta cantidad de decoro, como ha de haber cierta cantidad de luz. Cuando hay muchos hombres sin decoro, hay siempre otros que tienen en sí muchos hombres. Esos son los que se rebelan con fuerza terrible contra los que les roban a los pueblos su libertad. ¿Qué es robarles a los hombres su decoro? En esos hombres van miles de sagrados. Estos tres hombres son sagrados: Bolívar de Venezuela, San Martín del Río de la Plata, Hidalgo de México. Se les deben perdonar sus errores, porque el bien que hicieron fue más que sus faltas. Los hombres no pueden ser más perfectos que el sol. El sol quema con la misma luz con que calienta. El sol tiene manchas. Los desagradecidos no hablan más que de las manchas. Los agradecidos hablan de la luz.
Bolívar era pequeño de cuerpo. Los ojos le repargueban y las palabras se le salían de los labios. Parecería como si estuviera esperando siempre la hora de montar a caballo. Era su país oprimido, que le pesaba en el corazón y no le dejaba vivir en paz. La América entera estaba como despertando. Un hombre solo no vale nunca más que un pueblo entero. Pero hay hombres que no se casan cuando su pueblo se cansa y que se deciden a la guerra antes de los pueblos, porque no tienen que consultar a nadie más que a sí mismos. Y los pueblos tienen muchos hombres y no pueden consultarse tan pronto. Ese fue el mérito de Bolívar, que no se cansó de pelear por la libertad de Venezuela. Cuando parecía de Venezuela, lo habían derrotado los españoles, lo habían echado del país. Él se fue a una isla, a ver su tierra de cerca, a cansar en su tierra. Un negro generoso lo ayudó cuando ya no lo quería ayudar nadie. Volvió un día a pelear con 300 héroes, con los 300 libertadores. Libertó a Venezuela, libertó a la Nueva Granada, libertó a Ecuador, libertó a Perú. Fundó una nación nueva, a la nación de Bolivia. Ganó batallas sublimes con soldados descalzos y medio desnudos. Todo se estremecía y se llenaba de luz a su alrededor. Los generales peleaban a su lado con valor sobrenatural. Era un ejército de jóvenes. Jamás se peleó tanto, ni se peleó mejor, en el mundo por la libertad. Bolívar no defendió con tanto fuego el derecho de los hombres a gobernarse por sí mismos, como el derecho de América a ser libre. Los envidiosos exageraron sus defectos. Bolívar murió de pesar del corazón más que de mal del cuerpo, en la casa de un español en Santa Marta. Murió dejó una familia. México tenía mujeres y hombres valerosos que no eran muchos, pero valían por muchos. Media docena de hombres y una mujer preparaban el modo de hacer libre a su país. Eran unos cuantos jóvenes valientes, el esposo de una mujer liberal, y una cura de pueblo que quería mucho a los indios. Una cura de 60 años. Este niño fue el cura hidalgo y de raza buena, de los que querían saber. Los que no querían saber son más de raza mala. Hidalgo sabía francés, y entonces era cosa de mérito, porque lo sabían pocos. Leyó los libros de los filósofos del siglo XVIII, que explicaron el derecho del hombre y a ser honrado, y a pensar y a hablar sin hipocresía. Vio a los negros esclavos y se llenó de horror. Vio maltratar a los indios, y que son tan mansos y generosos, y se sentó entre ellos como un hermano viejo, a enseñarles las artes finas que el indio aprende bien, la música que consuela, la cría de guisano que de la seda, la cría de la abeja que da miel. Tenía fuego en sí y le gustaba fabricar, creó hornos para conocer los ladrillos. Le veían lucir mucho de cuando en cuando los ojos verdes. Todos decían que hablaba muy bien y que sabía mucho nuevo y que daba muchas cosas al señor cura del pueblo de Dolores. Decían que iba a la ciudad de Querétaro una que otra vez a hablar con unos cuantos valientes y con la marido de una buena señora. Un traidor le dijo a una comandante español que los amigos Querétaro trataban de hacer a México libre. El cura montó a caballo con todo su pueblo y que lo quería como a su corazón. Se le fueron juntando a los corporales y los sirvientes de las haciendas, y que eran la caballera. Los indios iban al pie con palos y flechas o con hondas y lanzas. Se le unió un regimiento y entró triunfante en Celaya, músicas y vivas. Al otro día, junto al ayuntamiento, lo hicieron general y empezó un pueblo a nacer. Él fabricó lanzas y caudales de mano. Él dijo discursos que dan color y echan chispazos, como decía un corporal de las haciendas. Él declaró libertades a los negros. Le volvió tierras a los indios. Él publicó un periódico que llamó El Despertador Americano. Ganó y perdió batallas. Un día se le juntaban 7,000 indios con flechas y al otro día lo dejaban solo.
La amada gente quería ir con él para robar en los pueblos y para vengarse de los españoles. Él les avisaba a los jefes españoles que si los vencía en la batalla que iba a darles, los recibiría en su casa como amigos. Eso es ser grande. Se atrevió a ser magnánimo, sin miedo a que lo abandonase la soldadesca que quería que fuese cruel. Su compañero Allende tuvo celos de él y él le cedió el mando a Allende. Iban juntos buscando amparo en su derrota cuando los españoles les cayeron encima. A Hidalgo le quitaron uno a uno, como para ofenderlo, los vestidos de sacerdote. Lo sacaron detrás de una tapia y le dispararon los tiros de muerte a la cabeza. Cayó vivo, revuelto en la sangre, y en el suelo lo acabaron de matar. Le cortaron la cabeza y la colgaron en una jaula en la alhóndiga misma de Granaditas, donde tuvo su gobierno. Enterraron los cadáveres descabezados, pero México es libre. San Martín fue el libertador del sur, el padre de la República Argentina, el padre de Chile. Sus padres eran españoles y mandaron a España para que fuese militar del rey. Cuando Napoleón entró en España con su ejército para quitarles a los españoles de libertad, los españoles todos pelearon contra Napoleón. Pelearon los viejos, las mujeres, los niños. Un niño valiente, un cataloncito, hizo huir una noche a una compañía, disparándole tiros y más tiros desde un rincón del monte. Al niño lo encontraron muerto de hambre y de frío, pero tenía en la cara como una luz y sonreía como si estuviese contento. San Martín peleó muy bien en la batalla de Bailén y lo hicieron teniente coronel. A poco, parecía de acero, miraba como un águila. Nadie lo desobedecía, su caballo iba y venía por el campo de pelea, como el rayo por el aire. En cuanto supo que América peleaba para hacerse libre, vino a América. ¿Qué le importaba perder su carrera si iba a cumplir con su deber? Llegó a Buenos Aires. No dijo discursos. Levantó un escuadrón de caballería. En San Lorenzo fue su primera batalla. Sable en mano se fue San Martín detrás de los españoles, que venían muy seguros tocando el tambor, y se quedaron sin tambor, sin cañones y sin bandera. En los otros pueblos de América, los españoles iban venciendo. A Bolívar lo había echado morir el cruel de Venezuela. Hidalgo estaba muerto. O'Higgins salió huyendo de Chile. Pero donde estaba San Martín siguió siendo libre la América. Hay hombres así que no pueden ver esclavitud. San Martín no podía y se fue a libertar a Chile y al Perú. En 18 días cruzó con su ejército los Andes altísimos y fríos. Iban los hombres como por el cielo, hambrientos, sedientos. Abajo, muy bajo, los árboles parecían hierba. Los torrentes rugían como leones. San Martín se encuentra el ejército español y lo deshace en la batalla de Maipú, lo derrota para siempre en la batalla de Chacabuco, liberta a Chile. Se embarca con su tropa y va a libertar el Perú. Pero en el Perú estaba Bolívar y San Martín le cede la gloria. Se fue a Europa triste y murió en brazos de su hija Mercedes. Escribió su testamento en una cartilla de papel como si fuera el parte de una batalla. Le habían regalado un estandarte que el conquistador Pizarro trajo hace 4 siglos y él le regaló el estandarte en el testamento al Perú. Un escultor es admirable porque saca una figura de la piedra bruta. Pero esos hombres que hacen pueblos no son como más que hombres. Hicieron algunas veces lo que no debían querer, pero que no le perdonara un hijo a su padre. El corazón se llena de turna al pensar en esos gigantescos fundadores. Esos son héroes, los que pelean que para hacer a los pueblos libres, a los que padecen en pobreza y desgracia por defender una gran verdad. Los que pelean por la ambición, por hacer esclavos a otros pueblos, por tener más mando, por quitarle a otro pueblo sus tierras, no son héroes, sino criminales.
Los milagros. Iba un niño travieso cazando mariposas. Las cazaba el bribón, les daba un beso, y después las soltaba entre las rosas. Por tierra, en un estero, estaba un sicomoro. Le da un rayo de sol, y del madero, muerto, sale volando un ave de oro. 2 miracles. A naughty little boy went chasing butterflies. The rascal gave each one a kiss, and let them go among the roses. Upon the ground in a marshy place, the trunk of a sycamore lay. A sunbeam fell on the rotted wood, and a golden bird flew out. Meñique. A tale of magic about a wise young boy named Meñique, in which one sees that knowledge is worth more than strength. In a very strange country a long time ago, there lived a peasant who had 3 sons, Pedro, Pablo, and Juancito. Pedro was big and fat with a red face and was pretty dim. Pablo was sickly and pale and filled with envy and jealousy. Juancito was pretty as a woman and more bouncy than a bread spring, but so tiny that he could hide in one of his father's boots. Nobody called him Juancito but Meñique. The peasant was so poor that they made him a party in the house whenever someone brought home a penny. Bread was very costly, even if it was black bread, and they had no way to earn a living. As soon as the 3 children were grown up enough, the father begged them for their own good to leave the unhappy shack and go out into the world to seek their fortune. Their hearts ached to leave their old father alone and to bid farewell forever to the trees they had planted, to the little hut where they were born, and to the brook from which they drank water out of their cupped hands. About a league from there, the country's king had a magnificent palace, all made of wood with 20 balconies of carved oak and 6 small windows. And it happened that suddenly, on a very hot night, there sprouted from out of the ground, in front of the 6 little windows, an enormous oak tree with such thick branches and so much foliage that it left the king's palace in the dark. It was an enchanted tree, and there was no axe that could chop it down, because the cutting edge was made dull by the hardness of the trunk, and for every branch cut off 2 would grow out. The king offered to give 3 sackfuls of money to anyone who could rid the palace of that huge tree, but there stood the oak, bursting forth with branches and roots, and the king had to get used to lighting lamps in daytime. Kings are capricious, and this little one wanted to have his way. He ordered the town criers to go through all the towns and on all roads of his kingdom to stake placards bearing the royal arms, offering his daughter in marriage to anyone who could cut down the tree and dig the well, and giving him half his lands as well. The lands were the most fertile, and the princess was famous for her intelligence and beauty. So it was that an army of strong men came from everywhere with axes over their shoulders and carrying pickaxes. But all the axes were dented against the oak tree, and all the pickaxes were shattered against the rock. That was not all, however, because in that country springs gushed up from either stones on the roads, but the palace had no water. The people of the palace washed their hands with beer and shaved with honey. The king had promised to give many lands and much money and the title of Marti to anyone who could dig a well in the castle courtyard where water could be kept for a whole year. But nobody won the reward because the palace was built upon a rock, and as soon as the earth was scraped away from the top, there was a layer of granite underneath. Only an inch of soil covered it.
The peasant's 3 sons heard the crier's announcement and headed for the palace, not believing that they would marry the princess, only that they would try to find some work among so many people. The 3 went on and on, Pedro always content, Pablo talking to himself alone, and Meñique glancing here and there, poking his nose into all the footpaths and hiding places, seeing everything with his shining, squirrel-like eyes. At every step of the way, he had something new to ask of his brothers. Why bees put their little heads into flowers, why swallows fly so near the water, why butterflies do not fly straight. Pedro burst out laughing, and Pablo shrugged his shoulders and ordered him to be quiet. After walking on and on, they came to a very dense pine grove that covered a whole mountain, and they heard a loud noise as if coming from an axe and the sound of trees falling up there at the summit. I'd like to know why they all go the way up there to cut the wood, said Monique. He who knows nothing wants to know everything, said Pablo, half grumbling. Apparently, this little puppet has never heard anyone cut wood, said Pedro, twisting Monique's cheek with a good pinch. I'm going to see what they're doing up there, said Monique. Go on, idiot, but you'll come down very tired from not believing what your older brothers tell you. And from branches to stones, leaping and treading, Monique climbed up to where the sound came from. And what did Monique find at the top? Well, an enchanted axe that chopped all by itself and was felling a very stout pine tree. Good day, Mrs. Axe, said Monique. Aren't you tired of chopping down that very old tree all by yourself? I've been waiting for you for a long time, my son, replied the axe. Well, here I am, said Monique, and without starting to tremble or asking any more questions, he put the axe in his big leather bag and climbed down the mountain, weeping and singing. What did you, he who wants to know everything, see up there, said Pablo, thrusting out his lower lip and looking at Monique the way a tower looks at a pine. Well, the axe we heard, answered Monique. Now the little puppet sees the foolishness of poking his nose into all this sweaty work for nothing, said Pedro, the fat one. Soon the whole path became stony, and a distant sound was heard like a piece of iron striking the rock. I would like to know who is splitting stones so far away, said Monique. Here's a chick just broken out of its egg, and he's never heard a woodpecker pecking at a tree trunk, said Pablo. Stay with us, kid, because that's only a woodpecker pecking at a tree trunk, said Pedro. I'm going to see what's happening over there. On his knees here, and half dragging himself along there, Monique climbed up the rock as he heard how Pedro and Pablo were bursting out laughing. And what did Monique find over there on the rock? Well, an enchanted pickaxe picking away all by itself and splitting the rock as if it were butter. Good day, Mr. Pickaxe, said Monique. Aren't you tired of picking at that old rock so all alone? I've been waiting for you for many years, my son, replied the pickaxe. Well, here I am, said Monique, and without a bit of fear, he grabbed the pickaxe, pulled it out of its handle, put the two parts of its big leather bag, and climbed down over the stones, romping about and singing. And what miracle did your lordship see over there, said Pablo, his mustache twisted into 2 points. A pickaxe is what we heard, said Monique, and he continued walking without saying another word. Farther on, they came to a stream and stopped to take a drink because it was very hot. I should like to know, said Monique, where so much water comes from in a valley as flat as this one. Great big conceited one, said Pablo. You want to poke your nose into everything. Don't you know that springs come out of the ground? I'm going to see where this water comes from. And the brothers kept on with their pranks, but Monique started walking along the bank of the stream, which was becoming narrower and narrower until it was only a thread. And what did Monique find when he reached the end? Well, an enchanted nutshell out of which bubbled some clear water sparkling in the sun. Good day, Mr. Stream, said Monique. Are you tired of living all alone in your corner gushing water? I've been waiting for you for many years, answered the stream. Well, here I am, said Monique. And without the least fear, he took the nutshell, wrapped it well in some cool moss so that the water would not spill out, put it in his big leather bag, and went back to where he had been, weeping and singing. Now, do you know where the water comes from? Shouted Pedro. Yes, brother, it comes from a little bowl. Oh, talent has eaten up this friend of ours. That's why he hasn't grown, said Pablo the pale one. And I've seen what I want to see, and I know what I want to know, said Monique to himself, and he went on his way, rubbing his hands together. They finally arrived at the king's palace. The oak tree was growing bigger than ever, and the well had not been able to be dug. And at the gate was a placard bearing the royal arms, proclaiming that the king promised to give his daughter in marriage and give half of his kingdom to anyone who could chop down the oak tree and dig the well, whether he was a noble at court or a comfortable vassal or a poor peasant. But the king, weary of so many useless trials, had stuck beneath the big placard a small one, which said in red letters, "Let men know by this placard that your lord and king, like the good king he is, has deigned to order that anyone who fails to chop down the oak tree, or those to dig the well he comes to dig, shall have his ears cut off under the very oak tree he comes to chop down, to teach himself to know himself and be modest, which is the first lesson of wisdom." And around this placard were nailed 30 bloody ears cut off close to the head from 15 men who thought they were stronger than they were. While reading this notice, Pedro burst out laughing, twisted the ends of his mustache, looked at his arms with those muscles that resembled ropes, swung his axe twice around his head, and with a single blow chopped off one of the thickest branches of the cursed tree. But immediately 2 powerful branches sprouted just where the axe had cut, and without further ceremony, the king's soldiers sliced off his ears. Good for nothing, said Pablo, who went to the tree, axe in hand, and with a single blow cut off a big root. But 2 enormous ones grew out of a place of that one. And the furious king ordered the ears cut off that fellow who refused to learn from the head of his brother. Monique's heart did not feel small, and he threw himself into the task. Take that midget away from here, said the king, and if he refuses to leave, cut off his ears. Sir King, your word is sacred. A man's word is a law, Sir King, but by your placard I have the right to prove my love. You have time to cut off my ears if I fail to chop down that tree, and they'll cut off your nose as well if you fail. With much labor, Manike took the enchanted axe out of his big leather bag. The axe was bigger than Manike, and Manike said to it, "Chop, axe, chop." And that axe chopped, cut, chipped, hacked off the branches, cut down the trunk, pulled up the roots, cleared the ground roundabout to right and left, and piled up so much firewood from the tree that the palace was kept warm by the oak tree all that winter. When not a single leaf from the tree was left, Manike went to where the king was sitting beside the princess and greeted them most courteously. "Now, where's the king wish me, your servant, to dig the well?" The whole court went to the palace courtyard to watch the well being dug. The king climbed to the platform higher than the seats of the rest, the princess chair on a lower step, and she looked with surprise at the undersized man who was going to be given to her as a husband. Serene as a rose, Manike opened the bag, the big leather bag, affixed the handle to a pickaxe, and put it on the palace, indicated by the king, and said to it, "Dig, pickaxe, dig." And the pickaxe began to dig, and the granite started to scatter into pieces. In less than a quarter of an hour, there was a well 100 feet deep. Does my king think that the well is deep enough? It is deep, but it has no water. It will, said Manike. He put his arm into the big leather bag, took the moss away from the nutshell, and put the shell into a fountain that had been filled up with flowers. And when it was deep inside the earth, he said, "Gush up, water, gush up." And the water started to gush up among the flowers with a gentle murmur, refresh the air of the courtyard, and fall in such an abundant cascades that within a quarter of an hour, the well was full, and it was necessary to make a canal to carry off the surplus water. And now, said Manike, kneeling upon one knee, "Does my king believe I've done all you asked of me?" "Yes, Marquis Minky," replied the king, "and I shall give you half my kingdom, or better yet, I'll buy from you what your half is worth. With the taxes I'm going to levy upon my vassals, who will be very happy to pay because the lord and king has good water. But you can't marry my daughter because that's something of which I alone am not master." "What more do you wish of me, king?" said Manike, pausing on tiptoes with his little hand on his hip and looking at the princess face to face. "I shall tell you tomorrow, Marquis Manike," the king said. "Now go to sleep in the best bed in my palace." But when the king went away, Manike went on to find his brothers, who looked like two mouse-catching dogs with their ears cut off.
En un país muy extraño, vivo hace mucho tiempo un campesino que tiene 3 hijos, Pedro, Pablo y Juancito. Pedro era gordo y grande, de cara colorada y de pocos entenderás. Pablo era canijo y paladucho, lleno de envidias y de celos. Juancito era lindo como una mujer y más leguero que un resorte, pero tan chiquitín que se podía esconder en un bote de su padre. Nadie le decía Juan sino Maniquí. El campesino era tan pobre que había fiesta en la casa cuando traía alguno un centavo. El pan costaba mucho, aunque era pan negro, y no tenía cómo ganarse la vida. En cuanto los 3 hijos fueron bastante crecidos, el padre les rogó por su bien que salieran de su choza infeliz a buscar fortuna por el mundo. Les dolió el corazón de dejar solo a su padre viejo y decir adiós para siempre a los árboles que habían sembrado, a la casita en que habían nacido, el arroyo donde bebían agua en la palma de la mano. Como a una legua de ahí tenía el rey del país un palacio magnífico, todo de madre, con 20 balcones de roble tallado y 6 ventanitas. Y sucedió que de repente, una noche de mucho calor, salió de la tierra, delante de las 6 ventanas, un roble enorme, con ramas de grises y tanto folaje que dejó a oscuros el palacio de rey. Era un árbol encantado, y no habría hacha que pudiera echarlo a tierra, porque se le meaba el filo en el duro del tronco, y por cada rama que cortaban salían 2. El rey ofrece dar 3 sacos llenos de peso a quien le quedara de encima al palacio. aquí arbolón, pero allí se estaba el roble, hinchado ramas y races, y el rey tuvo que conformarse con el encender luces de día. Y eso no es Torah. Por aquí, país hasta de las piedras de camino salen los manantiales, pero en el palacio no había agua. La gente de la plaza se llevaba las manos con cerveza y se apretaba con miel. El rey había prometido hacer marques y dar muchas tierras y dinero a que abriese en el patio del castillo un pozo donde se pudiera guardar agua para todo el año. Pero nadie se llevó el premio, porque el palacio estaba en roca, y en cuanto escarbaba la tierra de arriba, salía debajo de la capa de granito. Como pulgada nada más había de tierra polada. Los reyes son caprichosos, y este recito quiere salirse con su gusto. Mando pregoneros que fueran clavando por todos los pueblos y caminos de su reino el cartel sellado con las armas reales, donde ofrecía casar a su hija con el cortarse arabo y abrirse el pozo, y darle además la mitad de sus tierras. Las tierras eran de lo mejor para sembrar, y la princesa tiene fama de inteligente y hermosa. Así es que empezó a venir de todas partes un ejército de hombres forzudos, con el hacha a hombre y el pico a brazo. Pero todas las hachas mellaban contra el roble, y todos los picos se rompían contra la roca. Los 3 hijos de campesino oían el pregón y tomaron el camino del palacio. Sin creer iban a casarse con la princesa, sino que encontraron entre tanta gente algún trabajo. Los 3 iban anda que anda, Pedro siempre contento, Pablo hablándose solo, y Menquisi saltando de acá para allá, mentándose por todas las verdades y escondrijos, vendió todo con sus ojos brillantes de ardía. ¿Acaso Paso tenía algo nuevo que preguntar a sus hermanos? ¿Que por qué las aves metan las cabecitas en las flores? ¿Que por qué las golondrinas volaban de cerca del agua? ¿Que por qué no volaban derecho las mariposas? Pedro se echaba a reír, y Pablo se encogía de hombres y lo mandaba callar. Caminando, llegaron a un pinar muy espeso que cubría todo un monte, y oían un ruido grande como de un hacha, y de árboles que caían ayer en lo más alto. Yo quería saber por qué andan allá arriba contando llena, dijo Meniquí. Todo lo que quiere saber es que no sabe nada, dijo Pablo medio gruñido. Parece que este muñeco no ha oído nunca cortar lena, dijo Pedro, torciéndole el cachete al maniquí de un buen pellizco. Yo voy a ver allá arriba, dijo Maniquí. Anda, ridículo, que ya bajares bien cansado por mayores, y de ramas en pedras, cantando y saltando, subió el maniquí por el sonido. ¿Y qué encontró el maniquí en lo alto del monte? Pues un hacha encantada que cortaba sola, y estaba echado abajo un pino muy recio. Buenos días, señora H, dijo Maniquí. ¿No está cansada de cortar tan solita ese árbol tan viejo? Hace muchos años, hijo mío, que estoy esperando por ti, respondió el H. Pues aquí me tiene, dijo Maniquí, y sin ponerse a temblar ni pregunta más, metió el H en su gran saco de cuero y bajó el monte, brincando y cantando. ¿Qué vio allá arriba el que todo le quiere saber? Preguntó el Pablo, sacando el labio de abajo y mirando el Maniquí como un toro a un alfiler. Pues el H que oamos, le contestó el Maniquí, y ve el chiquinten la tontería de meterse por en esos Dores, le dijo Pedro el gordo.
Vino y se oyó un ruido que venía de lejos, como un hierro que golpease una roca. Yo quisiera saber quién anda allá lejos picando piedra, dijo Meñique. Aquí está un pichón que acaba de salir del huevo y no me ha oído nunca el pájaro carpintero picoteando en un tronco, dijo Pablo. Quédate con nosotros, hijo, que eso no es más que un pájaro carpintero que picotea en un tronco, dijo Pedro. Yo voy a ver lo que pasa. Y aquí, de rodillas, y allá, medio a rastras, subió la roca Meñique, oyendo cómo se reían a carcajadas Pedro y Pablo. ¿Y qué encontró Meñique allá en la roca? Pues un pico encantado, que picaba solo y estaba abriendo la roca como si fuese mantequilla. Buenos días, señor Pico, dijo Meñique. ¿No está cansado de picar tan solito en esta roca vieja? Hace muchos años, hijo mío, que estoy esperando por ti, respondió el Pico. Pues aquí me tiene, dijo Meñique. Y sin pizca de miedo le echó mano al pico, lo sacó del mango, lo metió aparte en su gran saco de cuero y bajó por aquellas piedras retozando y cantando. ¿Y qué milagro vio por allá su señoría?, preguntó Pablo con los bigotes de punta. Era un pico, lo que oímos, respondió Meñique, y siguió andando sin decir más palabras. Más adelante encontraron un arroyo y se detuvieron a beber, porque era mucho el calor. Yo quisiera saber, dijo Meñique, ¿de dónde sale tanta agua en un valle tan lleno como este? En un valle tan llano como este, grandísimo, pretencioso, dijo Pablo. Que en todo quieres meter la nariz. ¿No sabes que los manantiales salen de la tierra? Yo voy a ver de dónde sale ese agua. Y los hermanos se quedaron diciendo picardías, pero Meñique echó a andar por la orilla del arroyo, que se estaba estrechando, hasta que no era más que un hilo. ¿Y qué encontró Meñique cuando llegó al fin? Pues una cáscara de nuez encantada, de donde salía a borbotones el agua clara chispoteando al sol. Buenos días, señor Arroyo, dijo Meñique. ¿No estás cansado de vivir tan solito en un rincón, manando agua? Hace muchos años, hijo mío, que estoy esperando por ti, respondió el Arroyo. Pues aquí me tiene, dijo Meñique, y sin el menor susto tomó la cáscara de nuez, la envolvió bien en musgo fresco, para que no se saliera el agua, la puso en su gran saco de cuero y se volvió por donde vino, saltando y cantando. ¿Ya sabes de dónde viene el agua?, le gritó Pedro. Sí, hermano, viene de un agujerito. O a ese amigo que le come el talento, por eso no crece, dijo Pablo el paliducho. Yo he visto lo que quería ver, ya sé lo que quería saber, se dijo Meñique a sí mismo, y siguió su camino, frotándose las manos. Por fin llegaron al palacio del rey. El roble crecía más que nunca. El pozo no lo habían podido abrir, y en la puerta estaba el cartel sellado con las armas reales, donde prometía el rey casar a su hija y darle la mitad de su reino a quien quiera que cortase el roble y abriese el pozo, fuera señor de la corte o vasallo acomodado, o pobre campesino. Pero el rey, cansado de tanta prueba inútil, había hecho clavar debajo del cartelón otro cartel más pequeño que decía con letras coloradas: sepan los hombres por este cartel que el rey, señor, como buen rey que es, se ha dignado mandar que le corten las orejas debajo del mismo roble a quien venga a cortar el árbol o abrir el pozo y no corte ni abra, para enseñarle que conocerse a sí mismo y a ser modesto, que es la primera lección de la sabiduría. Y alrededor de ese cartel había clavadas 30 orejas sanguinolientas, cortadas por la nariz de la piel a 15 hombres que se creyeron más fuertes que lo eran.
Bueno, ya hemos llegado al final del día 1. We've come to the end of day 1 of the week-long marathon, de la maratónica de la semana entera. Empezamos aquí en Duke University. Quiero dar las gracias a Luis Navarro y a todos sus estudiantes y a todas las personas que leyeron. I want to give a thanks to Luis Navarro and everyone that read today. Tomorrow, we send now to Granada, Spain, over at Castilla. Le pasamos la batuta a España mañana en Granada, a nuestros amigos en Castilla. Y bueno, eso empieza a las 6 de la mañana, 6 a.m. In the U.S. or Eastern Standard Time, 6 a.m. in the morning if you want to join us, if you want to see what's happening in Spain. They're going to continue to read from José Martí. We were just reading El Meñique, and es una historia muy linda que adaptó José Martí. Y de hecho, el sábado, si están en el área de Charlotte, tenemos una presentación de teatro para los niños producida por Reina Production y pueden conocer qué es lo que pasa con el meñique en la historia. So los invitamos que estén con nosotros en la Feria del Libro el sábado desde las 12 del mediodía hasta las 6. Van a haber 2 presentaciones de las obras de José Martí, Los zapaticos de rosa y también El meñique que estábamos leyendo en este momento. Entonces tenemos una semana completa, bueno, como 8 días completo de eventos literarios para celebrar lo que es el mes de la literatura internacional del libro, la semana del libro, y también estamos celebrando lo que es el festival, el 4º aniversario del Festival del Quijote y también de la maratónica. Entonces le pasamos la batuta a Castilla mañana a las 6 de la mañana. Por favor, acompáñenos. Y el viernes pasamos a Elon. El lunes seguimos en Meredith College. Y el martes estamos en UNC Chapel Hill. Y terminamos la maratónica el miércoles en Johnson C. Smith en Charlotte. So, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros y los esperamos mañana a las 6 de la mañana con Castilla en España. Muchas gracias.
Okay, señor. Bravo.